Okay, guys, I believe that almost everybody have seen the news, the information coming from UK, from the UK big man. I don't want to mention his name here. So, if you haven't watched the news or if you have not seen the update, let me give you. I'm just going to give you just one. According to the update coming from the UK big man says that you now have to live in the UK for 10 years before you can be eligible for permanent residence. Remember, I didn't say citizenship, I said permanent residency. Now, those that are in the UK, I don't think it's going to affect them. However, if you are still thinking of moving to the UK, as you're watching this video, note that it is a big risk you are taking. Remember, moving abroad is investment, okay? Irrespective of the money you are going to spend, it is investment, but you have to invest wisely. Me in particular, I cannot live in a country for 8 years without getting a passport. Yes. Now, so if you are moving to the UK, if you are thinking, you should know that as you are going, anything they say, you have to take it. He has already said it, that it's going to be 10 years or not nothing. Now, it is just permanent residency. What about citizenship? Citizenship might then take you 15 years, right? But is that what you really want to do? Most of us, we are moving because we want to make more money. We want a better life for ourselves. We want a better life for our kids, good education, good roads, good infrastructure, right? Good water, no mosquitoes, and a whole lot of things. Now, is this a wise option to take? To me, I cannot advise somebody to venture again into such routes already that I know these things. Now, you might want to look elsewhere. Of course, I understand if you are moving to the UK as a family, or if you are going to the UK for a research program, a master's program in research, you can carry your family, right? But now, are you still going to move without way? Like I said, I cannot. Now, I'm going to give you some countries. Aside the UK, you should also look at them. I see so many videos of people discouraging people from not going to the UK. Of course, these laws apply everywhere, okay? It's not going to be easy. But the only issue I have here is that it is now going to be 10 years. Come on, guys. Anyways, we cannot say otherwise. But you have to make a decision as a family. I'm just going to give you my own advice. If I am you, these are the countries I should target. I'm going to talk about countries in Europe. And then before we talk about countries in Europe, let me say these few things here. Now, point number one, immigration is not going to be easy. You have to input some energy. Somebody said he went to, well, I dropped a video yesterday about Romania where I said you can go and apply to BBU, Babes Bolia, and the person said the programs are for online, which means you cannot apply for visa. It is not true. I don't know how you guys watch videos. I don't know what you guys are doing. Again, go back and watch the video. I know the person is going to watch this. So go back and listen to what I said. That's why I always say listen to me first before you go to the link. So when you go there, you shouldn't get confused. I cannot bring an online program and give it to you because I know it won't give you a visa to japa. Do you understand me? Thank you so much. Now, if I am moving, there are 4 things I always consider. 1, the P-man, which is the passport, how I can get it. 2, how I can make myself permanent in that country, which is permanent residency. 3, I look at the economy of that particular country and prospects of getting a job. 4, I look at safety. Now, these are part of the things that brought me to the Netherlands. Okay, now, I'm not going to talk about this. Let's start with Canada, United States, and Australia. If you have some money and can find your way into these countries, go to these countries now. Do not go to the UK again. Before you go to Canada, remember, there are also laws. Canada is also battling with a lot of immigrants, and they said it clearly. If you go to IRCC, it was mentioned that apply only to a program that you think you can get a job, programs that are in demand. Also, apply to a school that can allow you get post-graduation work permit because it is a transition from after you finish your school, you get post-graduation work permit. After that, you get permanent residency and citizenship. Now, if you can find your way to Canada, understand that it's still going to be tough. But again, you have to think about it. If you can find your way into the United States of America, find your way into the US. But remember, there are rapid visa rejections now in the US. Well, you can try your luck. Milton is not discouraging you. Anything is possible. You have to go through rejections before getting an acceptance. I told you guys my story, right? I applied to 13 different universities in 7 different countries. I got 5 admissions, 2 in Canada, which I didn't move because I was scaling my way, looking at possibilities of getting the visa. So I didn't want a rejection, and because of course I didn't have all the required documents because my proof of funds was not going to be able to suffice to get me a visa. I am somebody I always think very widely. Now, what was the main option on the table? The only option on the table which I could pick was the Netherlands, which I gladly took the Netherlands, and I don't regret it. Of course, in the Netherlands, you are going to study for 1 year or 2 years, finish your school, apply for something called orientation year visa. Then you use that orientation year to find a job, and this job, the employer that is going to give you this job is going to be an employer that can sponsor the visa, maybe for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. Then after that, when you are here for 5 years, you can get permanent residency, which is really not needed. You do not really need it. You can go directly and apply for your passport, 5 years. Not like the UK that is saying you have to stay 10 years to get permanent residency. No. But for you to stay, you need an employer that is going to do the visa for you, because it is the employer applying to the Dutch government. Then the government would then be the one to approve. It is not going to be easy. It is not an easy task. Make sure you go out there, spread your wings, make connections, talk to people, send emails. If it means sending 5,000 emails, keep sending. Fix your CV, write a statement of purpose, attach your documents, prepare everything for the job market. Keep sending. When you send, you make sure you keep sending follow-up emails. This is the way to succeed in Europe. I am saying these things because I am already in the system. That is why I'm giving you info now, so that you don't say I didn't give you updates. I am here to help, and those who are watching my videos, I hope I helped you in one way or the other. Thank you. That is for the Netherlands. Now, I'm giving you options that you can consider and not look again at the UK. But if you still think the United Kingdom is the best option for you, fantastic. The goal is to win. The goal is to have food to eat. Now, another option I can give you apart of Canada, Australia, USA, and the Netherlands is Belgium. Belgium is also another good country. Of course, when you finish your studies, you still have a year to look for a job. And in the Netherlands, you must not get a job in a company only in what you actually studied. For example, if you did civil engineering, you can still work in a supply chain factory. In as much as you have the skills, you have the qualification, you have at least a degree in the Netherlands, and you are good to go, right? If you meet up, you are good. Make sure you learn the Dutch language for newcomers coming in here. Also in Belgium, try and learn the language, at least one language, because of course there are so many languages spoken in Belgium. Now, I've given you Belgium. Another country you should consider is Germany. But before applying to schools in Germany, always remember that admissions is not a problem. Sometimes you might need IELTS. In some universities, you may not need it. However, getting visa dates or getting appointments to apply for visa is usually a problem. So I will encourage you to verify very well before you go in. Now, remember, if you want to study in the Netherlands, contact me so that we do real quick. For Nigerians, some universities are not open anymore. I'm going to tell you what I need. When you talk to me, when we talk one-on-one on call, it's the easiest mode because I'm so busy, guys. But I keep trying. When we talk on call, I will advise you on the best thing to do. But remember, you need money because Dutch universities are not cheap. They are expensive. But is it worth it? It is worth it. Don't come in here and be in a rush. Just make sure you have everything to sustain you till you graduate. Then after graduation, you take the orientation, you apply for it. Then you go into the job market. Now you have a whole year. Every day you wake up, you have to be applying for jobs. If you have another small job you are doing, no problem. But make sure you go to the IND website and look for employers that can sponsor. The list is there alphabetically. You apply and apply and apply. There are so many international companies here. Johnson & Johnson, there are so many of them. Booking.com. I know 2 international students who studied in Germany. They work here in top international companies. So you have to be active, you have to be serious, you have to make connections, you have tried to learn the Dutch language. Now, we move away from Belgium, we were talking about Germany. Also remember to learn the German language. There are so many opportunities. Some people are going to Germany with the Auxibok. Remember with Germany, I think if you go through the Auxibok, is it Auxibok or something? You can qualify after 5 years to get citizenship. It all depends. But if you don't want that, go through the academic pathway. Please, if you are interested, if you want Aduro, then you can take the tourist visa. But if you really don't want Aduro, if you don't want anything that will not make you legal, because Aduro have its own setbacks. I have said this many times, and one of the problems with Aduro is that you cannot go back home again, because of course the country is protecting you and you already told them you were running from home. Please read more about Aduro. Those of you who are 23, 24 years, try to apply for au pair jobs in Europe, abroad. Try to check them. There are au pair jobs online. Try to verify them. Okay, go to embassy's website and verify the links. Another country you could check, or like if you really want to migrate, and remember, some of these countries you can move with family, guys, but the easiest way is to apply for a university. Depending on your money, the tuition fee and proof of funds, don't forget, everything is on this YouTube channel. You can also consider a country like France. Yes, if you go to France legally, of course, it's not going to be easy. Don't listen to people telling you, oh, it's not, oh, there are no jobs. In as much as you came into Europe with a legal way, you didn't come through the Sahara or anything. When you finish your school, put in your CV, start applying for jobs as if your whole blood depends on it. Do not sleep. Europe is not for the weak, but when you successfully get something to do that can give you thousands of euros per month, you are good to go. Take a look at France as well. Then another country is Austria. Remember, you have to try to learn the French language. For Austria, you should try to learn the German language. It is very important. Now, if you are moving to Switzerland, which is also another country very good in terms in terms of economy, you should understand that you are either going to learn one of these 4 languages. They speak 4 different languages: French, German, Italian, because there are 4 cantons in Switzerland, right? You already know about them if you've been watching my videos. So please consider this country. Another country I want to talk about, if you really want to migrate to Europe, okay, and run away, is Denmark. With Denmark, you can be in Denmark for like 7 years to get a passport. For Switzerland, you are going to get a passport only after 10 years. But at least Switzerland is better. The UK is saying after 10 years, you are going to get the permanent residency. No. For Austria, you are going to get it before 10 years. The passport, I mean. Then, you can also consider Denmark. Denmark is a country that is also very tough to get a passport. But at least before that 10 years, you should be getting a passport. Okay? In as much as you are legal, do not allow any of your documents to expire before you get a new one. No, don't do that. Then another country which is also very good that I can suggest for you is Iceland. Now, I'm talking about Iceland because many people do not know about this country, right? There is a video I did some time ago that I wrote IELTS 4 times, academic 1 time, general 3 times, since I was chasing permanent residency in Canada. Then the points kept increasing, so I had to switch my options. Somebody watched that video, wrote her IELTS, got the band score 7, applied to Iceland, and Iceland gave her admissions. Another person also was asking me about Ireland. Ireland is also a very good country. For me to say go to Ireland or UK, I would rather tell you take that money and invest in Ireland. But understand that Ireland is going to be very expensive. But of course, it's worth it to pay those monies in an expensive countries because, of course, like I told you, japa is investment. Okay, but if you do not have the money to come into these top countries, you can also consider places like Portugal. Consider a place like Portugal because, of course, after 5 or 6 years, you can also get the P-man. Consider a place like Luxembourg. Of course, there are cheap schools. There is a cheap school in Luxembourg, but Luxembourg is not cheap. Luxembourg is very expensive. Remember, it's the richest country in Europe in terms of GDP ranking. Then another country I didn't mention is Norway. Norway has a very big gross per capita income. Okay, there is a lot of money over there. But another thing you need to know is you need to learn Norwegian. I personally have a family in Norway, and Norway is a good place to be. And within 10 years, you should already have a passport. Now, I'm just telling you, if you are not really willing to invest your money in the UK, because so many people are backing out already, and we cannot really say, because of course living in a country for 10 years and getting just permanent residency, it doesn't really make sense, guys. But if your money is not enough, consider places like Italian passport is very powerful. But you should know that the economy is also very not doing well, but the population is good. So when you go into Italy, try and learn the language. Even after university, try to learn the language because it's going to help you. Any country that doesn't speak English, as soon as you finish your studies, try to learn their language because that's the only way to integrate easily into the community. I hope this helps you. There are so many other things I'll be saying. There are so many videos I will bring here, but we keep moving. Anything I think can help, I will bring it here. If you cannot come in through the academic route, do not worry. Just try and come in with Aduro and seek your Aduro because, of course, when you seek Aduro, they are going to give you a paper that you can use it to work. But if you remain back home and you're not doing anything, it's not going to help you in the next 4 to 5 years' time. Okay, this is my advice. You must not take it. If it's not good, discard it. If it's good, share the video with somebody and encourage them to share as well. We meet again in another one.